nice to be able to work in the rain and teach some fundamentals to throwing and catching in the rain, which was nice. It was a good day. I look forward to tomorrow. We're going to have another full pad practice. We'll get back on our fields and do a little bit more of scrimmage type atmosphere, some situational, taking guys to the ground and getting some live tackling. So I'm really looking forward to that, to see the quarterbacks function in some live movement periods. Had a nice opportunity to add a couple guys as analysts to offense and defense and special teams. Joe DeForest is coming with us as a defensive analyst. Lenny Vandermeid is coming back with us, which I absolutely love, coming back as an offensive analyst at Trojan in heart, and then Andy LaRussa is going to be helping us with special teams as an analyst. Coach Nansen, as you saw today, was not here today. He had a successful knee replacement surgery today, and Coach DeForest is actually going to take over for right now for the rest of spring. Hopefully we'll get Coach back here in about a week where he can at least be around, but right now Coach DeForest will take over. No injuries again today, a very healthy day. I'm knocking on wood, saying a good prayer, and with that I'll take any questions that you have.
What do the analysts do? What do the analysts do for you?
Analysts are quality control positions. They have the ability to prepare meetings for coaches. They have the ability to make cut-ups for coaches, and have the ability to do breakdowns and get us ready for next game. So a lot of the work, it's good to have guys that have experience in the coaching field, so they know and get the language down and be able to do the terminology that each coordinator needs.
You were with Coach DeForest at Duke?
I was with Coach. I was a young GA there, and Coach DeForest was with Coach DeForest at Duke University.
In the Alabama media guide, the list of analysts is almost 2 pages. Any chance that you may add more?
No, we're kind of status quo. It's the same amount that we've had last year. You know, we end up having a couple GAs. We usually put two quality control positions on each side of the ball and one special team. So, you know, we stay in the somewhere between 25 and 30 each and every year as far as full-time coaches, GAs, and quality control. So, a pretty nice number. Not anything over extravagant.
No extra interns.
What do you think of Sam's pro day yesterday?
I thought it was extremely impressive, and just the ability to go out there with all that was on the line, and the people that were here, you know, all 32 teams, to have owners, head coaches, scouts, position coaches, fans up in the stands, and then you throw a little rain in, and just to see his demeanor, just like it was him throwing when he was in 7th grade. I mean, it was so easy for him. I'm so proud of him. He just never changes. I texted him last night and said, you know what, I'm so proud of you, not the way you threw the ball, just because you are who you are. You just never change as a person, and I told him never to lose that quality, because that's his most special quality. It's the type of person he is.
Text you back?
Yes, he did.
What'd he say?
He said, thanks, Coach. It means a lot to me.
Obviously, you couldn't have planned the rain, but given what he's vying for, you know, with Cleveland and the division that they're in, could it work out any better?
I don't know if you could have scripted it any better. And what was really neat is a couple of days prior to that, he was the main coach. I hope it rains. That's him. That's the competitor inside of him. And I thought it was a really, really neat deal. That here it is, it's going to rain, you could alter it. And he was like, Coach, this is about my teammates. This is about, I don't want anything to throw them off. Whatever happens, happens. And if it rains, man, that's even more advantage, because I'm going to be able to show what I can do in that type of environment. And just that's another check off the box of what type of quarterback he is.
Cameron Smith made the decision to come back for his senior season. Can you tell me kind of what that process was like? Did you counsel him on that?
Yeah, and so there were 10, this was an unbelievable junior class, and there were 10 young men that we identified as possible potential, had NFL aspirations and could possibly go. And so we got the evaluations back on all 10 men. We said exactly what the NFL office had them ranked, as well as other teams, gave that to not only themselves but their families, showed the advantages of their strengths right now, where their area of growth could be, and then put it in their hands and let them make the best decision for them. We had 4 young men decide that it was best for them to move on, hugged all their necks and celebrated it. And we had 6 young men that came back, from a Cam Smith to Marvell Tell to Porter Gustin to Chuma Adoga. Those guys are going to be pros one day, but they're going to get one more year of experience before they move on to the next level.
Cameron, specifically, what do you think he can benefit most from coming back?
I think any time that you're leading a defense, going from that will position, he moved into the mic. He's actually calling defenses now for us. If you watch in the latter half of the year, Coach was allowing Cam to be able to identify what was going on offensively and be able to audible the defense if he needed to based off of it. So, just to have that savviness and be able to be the quarterback of the defense for one more year, you only get one chance at the NFL, and you want to make sure you're absolutely ready for it. So, another year of experience right there, I think is going to benefit him.
What was your reaction when he told you he was coming back?
Very happy. Very happy. You have any time that you have that quarterback of your defense and that rock that's been there, for 3 years and been a part of this defense, to have him back. Plus, he keeps our culture intact. You want those guys that have been leaders that have grown up these last 2 years of establishing what we want to be as a culture, and him now as the leader being able to run it. It makes it a lot easier for you as a coach because you don't have to do it all. You have guys like him and Marvell and Porter and Toa and those type of individuals that can patrol. I can't be in the locker room at all times, but they can, and they're an extension of their coach, and I appreciate about those men.
On Tuesday, you mentioned that you were eager to see the quarterbacks in full pads and whatnot. What did you think of them today?
I thought they did well, especially with the weather. I thought, especially with the weather and having some live bullets fly around, they did good. I'm looking forward to watching the tape. I didn't see anything in live drills that really jumped out at me that were major mistakes, but I look forward to watching the tape. I thought just looking at it from the field, it was good. I'll learn more once I get inside.
What do you think when you see Vianney comes back, he dropped 40 pounds?
Oh,
or Nico, he ran by me. I didn't know it was Nico. He's so how does that happen quickly for two kids like that?
Yeah, I think a lot of it, all of a sudden, there's no school, and there's all of a sudden you have all this time on your hands, and you're truly looking at and you're coming off a season. Usually when you get these guys right up to the start of the season, they're the best they're going to look, and then you go through the season, you go through finals, you go through a bowl game, and then you try to rebuild, and that we're rebuilding our guys right now. During the seasons, it's as much maintenance as you can do, strength and conditioning wise, as you're playing a very vigorous 14-game season last year. Hopefully we can get that thing to 50, and beyond. So it's something that I think once you have all that time and it's truly all you're working on for 3 months, yes, your body's going to change over 90 days.
And watching the O-line and D-line one-on-ones, Caleb Tremblay kind of stands out every practice. What are you seeing from him?
Yeah, one of the things that we saw on tape when we had the chance to evaluate him was just his effort to the ball and his quick twitch off the ball. I think he does a tremendous job of getting his hands on the offensive player as fast as humanly possible. Very quick hands, very strong, great effort player. He's got a very high ceiling. He's spinning a little bit right now with the playbook, because it's only practice 5. But when the light comes on and there's no confusion, he's going to be a very good player. When you put him in a one-on-one situation, you can see the talent that he has.
One more. JT Daniels was out here today watching practice. Is he going to come to more practices throughout spring?
Yeah, I hope so. I think any opportunity that he gets, I know he loves, he's a ball guy, and you'll see several signings. I've seen Elijah Griffin out here a couple times, and I think even more when we were able to get to our Saturday practices over the last 3 weeks. I think you'll see a lot of the signings here. We're going to practice tomorrow. Got a huge track meet. Matter of fact, I want to invite everybody. That's such a cool deal what's going on Saturday for Coach Carroll to have that five teams coming out here and what that means to track and field. And I hope all Trojan fans come out. I'll be here. I can't wait for it. It's going to be really neat. All righty, guys. Thank you.
Thanks, Clint.